Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation.
Hey, Embracing Arms community, this is Dr. Danielle Hairston coming back to you with another 5-minute quickie for your best life. It is raining, so hopefully you can hear me as I'm driving to one of my favorite places to be during the week, and that's my job. And hopefully you are doing something that you really enjoy doing today. But I wanted to share some reflection about the workplace. I wanted to share some reflection about an experience that I had. Several years ago, I had enrolled to study for my PhD in education leadership, higher education administration, and my main focus for studying for the PhD. Initially, I had no intention on doing that. I was like, do I want to go through this torture again? And so I started thinking about what value having this terminal degree would have on my professional life, and in building this amazing nonprofit organization that I started several years ago. And so I started thinking about that, and and then using that as more motivation to not only go ahead and apply for, to get into the program, but to thrive through the program and eventually graduating. And so just before I graduated, I was approached by a couple of colleagues on campus about possibly teaching. And I never taught in higher ed. I always taught outreach, right? I always did work with young people in the community, teaching them about prevention, teaching them about, thinking twice before engaging in risky behaviors, teaching them about HIV/AIDS education and ways in which you can prevent it, and, teaching our young people in the community about being public speakers and, grooming them to be our next leaders, and, empowering parents to take charge of their health, their education, their safety, and being stronger advocates for their young people in the education. That was the way I taught in the community, more from a grassroots lens. But I never taught in higher education, except as a substitute in a community college. I did do some substitute teaching for a friend of mine at a community college several years ago. And so I was a little intimidated by the process, like, I don't know, if I'm going to be able to do this. And so after several conversations and some coaching, I was like, okay, yeah, I think that would be great. I love teaching and I love engaging young people, and why not? And so there was some advocacy for me to do this, and I start, advocating for myself. And, one of the things that kept coming back to me is, in order for you to teach in this particular topic, right? If you want to teach sociology, I got distracted. If you want to teach sociology, you need to have 18 credits of 18 graduate hour credits, and specifically on sociology in order for you to teach in sociology. If you wanted to teach criminal justice, you have to have 18 credits of graduate level courses in order to teach criminal justice in higher ed. Now, I got my undergrad in criminal justice, so all of my courses in undergrad was criminal justice, but not in my master's program. That was more psychology stuff and community advocacy stuff, because my master's was in community psychology and social change. But there was no particular, combination of 18 credits on a particular topic that I wanted to teach, and I felt like I was qualified to teach, despite the fact that I have a national certification in human development, and was really struggling trying to get a position. And so I didn't know what to do. I was like, I would love to get into the classroom, but I do not want to sit in the class taking 18 credits of, graduate level hours just to get what I need. I think at the time I needed maybe 12 more credits or something like that. I don't know, something wild. I didn't want to do that. And so, and I already finished my PhD, so that wasn't enough. So one of the things that I strategized doing was like tapping into professors who's already teaching, and asking them to allow me to come into their class as a guest lecturer and maybe substitute in their classes and teach, so I can just, kind of build my reputation and build my relationship and connection. And maybe just through those connections, someone will just have some grace and give me the opportunity to teach. And so that's what I did. I tapped a couple professors that I was really connected with in different departments, of which I've never taught in, the engineering department and the meat sciences and all of that stuff. And brought my own, syllabus for what I wanted to teach their students in that particular space, because I didn't know anything about meat science, but I do know a little bit about, conflict management and critical thinking. So I would come into their spaces over and over and over again for months, doing substitute work, taking over their classes while they were on vacation. And I built a little bit of a reputation until someone noticed and asked me to teach 3 courses at the graduate level. And I didn't have to apply for it. I just started to teach the class, and it was an amazing experience. And so I share this story with you because sometimes, you have to kind of create your own space. You have to try to be innovative and creative if you want something, right? A denial is just a delay. And so what do you need to do to prep yourself? What things do you need to build? What skills do you need to build? Who do you need to connect yourself with? Who do you need to network with? What opportunities are out there to elevate your visibility? Don't get discouraged. There are opportunities out there waiting for you, and you just need to be prepared for it, and think outside of your normal, very safe box. When you are trying to approach these opportunities. So, this was a long way of just telling you that, a denial is just a delay. That's all it is. And so when you're getting pushed back and doors are closing, don't worry. Another one's going to fly open because you're going to be prepared for it. But just be strategic on how you move in those spaces so that people will start recognizing the talent that you're bringing to the table. So anyway, that is my 5-minute quickie for you, or more. I think it's 7 minutes, sorry. Go out in the community and embrace someone. They are waiting for you, and remember to continue to live your absolute best life.
So be this house.
We're chillin', having our fun.
Yeah.
Come spend the weekend with